Our king sits on his throne, apparently unmoved at the demise of his fallen realm, saying nothing when it comes to Our monarch holds the title Defender of the Faith, which in clown world means not defending Christianity, of course, but weakening it. As the Supreme Governor of the Church of England, King Charles III has overseen the fall of his church, the nation's church, a church that's now been fully captured, infiltrated and hollowed out, seemingly hell-bent on demoralising Anglicans with humiliation ritual after humiliation ritual. Witness the desecration of Canterbury Cathedral, self-vandalising one of England's oldest and most important churches with an art exhibition by... Anyway, that particular humiliation came hot on the heels of appointing a female Archbishop of Canterbury, naturally a feminist, pro-choice and pro-Skittles Archbishop at that. This marks a not-so-subtle shift in the faith where sin and heresy have been redefined to fit the 21st century's politics. But it's the same story across all our institutions. They all seem to follow the same progressive neoliberal script. Our media and culture also seem hell-bent, bombarding us with sophisticated propaganda techniques, warping our sense of self, morality and history, shifting the Overton window in an ever more degenerate direction. The West is drowning in narratives that reinforce this consensus. Film, news, marketing, television, they all act in unison not to entertain us, but to condition us for our replacement, to celebrate accepting it as virtuous and heroic. Together, they all police our thought. They all frame the narrative. They all hide inconvenient truths and push convenient lies. You can read more about propaganda and the tools of social engineering over at theremnantnetwork.com, but suffice to say, this consensus-building regime is extremely effective. And so here we are in clown world, where our young are educated to see their history, culture and people not with any sense of connection, or God forbid with gratitude, belonging or obligation, but they're taught instead to see their own story with apathy or shame. They've been conditioned not to apply logic consistently and treat people equally, but to perform these mental gymnastics where you have to run everything through this intersectional filter, working out everyone's identity group and tallying up whose group's got the most victim points, before inevitably simping for the outsider, who always end up deserving more. In clown world, women reject their femininity, their grace, chastity, modesty, nurturing, their obedience. They'll literally sacrifice their own children for their careers. Men and women are framed not as partners, but as opponents who repress and victimize each other. In clown world, on page and screen, masculine hero archetypes have been swapped, and our leaders and our organizations have been neutered and feminized too. So we see more and more emotions and subjectivity over facts and objectivity. Empathy over rationality, safety over risks, and conformity over competition, which all leads to a shift in thinking that censoring the truth is somehow okay if the truth is deemed threatening or dangerous. It's also a shift towards groupthink where empathy prevents restraint and decision-making depends not on reason but whether or not it'll make somebody sad. In clown world, competency is mocked where disability is revered. Beauty is offensive where ugliness is celebrated. The inversions are everywhere. But clown world isn't simply a metaphor, but a real inversion of the metaphysical, which is to say that clown world is literally satanic, literally anti-Christian, not united in following Christ, but united in rebelling against him. In clown world, there is no gratitude for God the Father, only a bottomless, rebellious rage. There's no offering, no sacrifice, no suffering, just a sense of deserving and resentment. So it's down with the patriarchy. Patriarchy is a Greek word meaning rule of the father, and is a fractal rebellion that starts with rebelling against God, but cascades down to every representation of the father. So the king, the nation, the church, authority, competency, men, even your own father, even your own people and history. As the rebels get more and more devoted, they get deeper and deeper into their rebellion, and they'll attack all representations of the Father, and they do it instinctually. Now, almost certainly they won't recognise it in these terms. They probably don't even think about God. They just want to be nice to everyone. And this, again, is an inversion. It's rebellion dressed up as virtue. It's a surrender that's framed as being heroic. So Satan's rebellion against God has become a clown world. Feminism, postmodernism, Marxism, nihilism, materialism, wokeism, transhumanism, Skittles, the hippie movement, Frankfurt School, Tavistock Institute, Fabian socialism, Planned Parenthood, all of these institutions share the same satanic rebellion. Which is why we see the constant attempts to undermine our relationship with God, why they're always assaulting objective truth, morality, virtue. They constantly push to deconstruct our values, reduce them into simple terms and strawman them so they can be easily mocked or dismissed. It's a journey always toward more hedonism, always toward less children, more deserving, less responsibility. And through all of this, progressivism has become the way of seeing in clown world. It's become the dominance of thought. Progressivism, with its Gnostic promise of liberation from what they see as a prison of God, gender, history, and limits in general. Progressivism where you can create your own truth and ignore everything else. And again, on the surface, progressivism sounds gentle. They're just being nice and they want equality for all. But those simplistic headlines hide a violent underbelly. What progressives are really saying is we are the future, you are the past. And if you hold us back, then you're the enemy, an obstacle to be removed. In his excellent book, Against the Machine, Paul Kingsnorth called progressivism the religion of the machine, a parasitic anti-religion complete with its own systems. You've got the sin of wrongthink, NGOs and HR diversity managers act in the role of priests, and salvation comes in the form of carbon credits or improving your social credit score. The word progress implies moving toward a place, but where that place is unclear. It's some general undefined utopia where you're free of limits. But progress also implies moving away from somewhere, like a spaceship heading away from Earth, progressing away from an abundant home, deeper and deeper into the dark void of space.
Your culture will adapt to service us. Resistance is futile.
The progress they are actually making is one deeper into totalitarianism. This is Orwell's 1984, where the idea of revolution is exploited to forge collectivism, where people are told what to believe and relations are severed between man and woman, parent and child, and between the reality of your faculties and the acceptable reality as decreed by the all-powerful party, where individuality is systematically and aggressively crushed, where the self must be dissolved into the party through torture, humiliation, and fear. The greater the demoralisation, the more the weak will call on the collective to protect them, handing over more and more of their individual power over to the collective, with an ever-growing hatred of the heretic individual. The character of Winston, like Orwell himself, was an atheist, which makes for a rather bleak end to the book, as it does in life. But the key to defeating Big Brother is found in that place that neither Orwell, Winston, or atheists will look. It's not a political system that will end the clown world. It's a realignment that's in order. The king must be put back on the throne, everything back in its right place.
Now to the future. The question: how does one man assert power over another?
By making him silent.
Exactly. Obedience is not enough. Power is inflicting pain and humiliation, otherwise you cannot be sure. Power is tearing human minds apart and putting them together again in new shapes of your own choosing. Power is not a means, it is an end. In our world, there will only be triumph and self-abasement. Everything else we shall destroy. The past is forbidden. Why? Because when we can cut man from his own past, then we can cut him from his family, his children, other men. There is no loyalty except loyalty to a party. There is no love except love of Big Brother. All competing pleasures we will destroy. If you want a vision of the future, Winston, imagine a boot stamping on a human face forever.
I know you'll fail. There's something in this world, some spirit that you will never overcome.
What is it? This principle?